So I just wanted to kind of speak to like the positive impact that we have on the community. I know in the book I kind of touched more on it in detail about just the impact that bail bondsmen have on the criminal justice system, as far as just helping the process go along, but also taxpayers and the community. Being that we are victim rights advocates, I just want you guys to speak to the benefit that a bail bondsman or a bail bond business company can provide to victims out there, because we are, like I said, we are victim rights advocates who ensure victims have their day in court.
I think it goes right along with just kind of like you said, a parole or probation or pretrial or whatever it may be. But we are accountability partners in this field, in this industry.
Pull that mic down.
Yeah. So we're accountability partners with defendants and victims alike when it comes to being able to make sure that the victim gets their day in court. But on our end, we're more in tune with the defendant, and so trying to make sure that defendant understands his responsibilities and his role in the community when he's out of jail, and waiting to decide if the allegation or the crime or whatever it may be that's been committed is going to be happening. But making sure that victim's still safe, making sure that they understand that victims in themselves are the reason they're in the position they are in, and how does that victim feel safe while this person's out of jail? And like I said, it just comes down to the check-ins, the communication, the actual relationship building, and walking through the court process with the defendants.
It's a full process. I kind of touch on that in the book. Like communication is obviously the first start. Like when you bond the person out, that's when it starts. With the communicating and that process, accountability. To ensure that our defendant makes it to court. So, that's our number one job. But man, they don't talk about the extra stuff that we provide as far as like referral services and stuff like that we could offer clients. So we're really more than a bail bondsman. So it's bail bondsman and the bail bond business does play an integral part to the criminal justice system. I know, like in the book, we kind of talked about how being able to help a person get bonded out and get back to their life. When you go to jail, man, it can mess up everything. You miss a couple of days of work. What I'm saying, the bills, the kids, having to move stuff around, man. It's really, it can be life changing. I'm sure no one expects to get arrested. You know what I'm saying? So to be in that situation, to be able to help someone get back to their regular life while they're fighting, and fighting the charges against them, I think is very big. A big way that we help the criminal justice system.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, even yes, we are victims advocate, but we are saving the taxpayers' dollars by an inmate not being housed.
$137 a day, I believe, in Kansas.
Yeah, $137 a day. So you're looking at that dollar amount multiplied by how many inmates are in the jail. That could be out, because jail's not the answer. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer that there are people that have done things so bad that, okay, they need to be where they're at.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the things and a lot of the reasons that people are in jail, sitting in jail, there's got to be a better solution.
And they can only get that help on the outside.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think both of you guys hit the nail right on the head. We are more than just bail bondsmen.
Yeah.
We're a friend. We're a counselor. We are helping find resources. We're a social worker in source. When you get out, there's people who need jobs. We're helping them find jobs. Yep. There's people who don't have transportation, so we will Uber them to work, Uber them to the appointments that they need to get to. People who are facing addiction and they need to find some place to get sober. And we have the resources, and we have people in house that are helping them find those deals. Yep. So it's a lot more for us than just, I'm gonna bail you out, take your money. Yep. I'm a bail bondsman. But we are more in tune. I would say for us as a company, we are more in tune with the defendant than we are the victim, only because we don't have contact with the victim. Exactly. So bail bondsmen get a bad rap sometimes about allowing victims to co-sign for the defendant. Well, just to defend ourselves, we don't have any access to police reports or anything, letting us know who the victim is. Yeah. So when somebody comes out of jail or comes to us wanting to bond somebody out of jail, then we just oblige to move forward. We'll ask, are you the victim? Yeah. But they're not always going to be truthful with you because they're trying to get their.
That kind of leads into my next question. I know, we talked about how you guys are a full service bail bond company. So you guys offer services that not all bail bond companies offer. Some of those services are like the DUI interlock and the GPS monitoring. Could you guys kind of speak to those services? I know we kind of talked about before the interview about a couple of those things, but kind of speak to those services, how they work, how they operate. Because offering these services is going to set you apart from other bail bond business owners because not everyone offers this. So if you guys can speak to just like services that you guys offer, so like the GPS monitoring and the DUI interlock and how that works.
So we have the monitoring company that's in house with us. It does a couple of things for our business, but also for the client. So you have pretrial who person like you said, your buddy gets an ag assault. Pretrial comes in and says,
He need
"Look,
a GPS.
he need a
I called
GPS."
Angel. Go ahead.
Yep. So you call us, and then you have you have your bondsman in house. We're here with the resources, everything that can help you, victim advocacy
Yep.
for the victim, but also we are the ones monitoring that client.
Yep. Another layer of accountability.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we report back to pretrial and let them know he's doing great. You know, most people look at that monitor as the shackle or the chain or the ball, but there's some instances that monitor is insurance for.
Yeah, and doing my research as far as like when I started my bail bond company, I heard that like GPS monitoring could also assist in you getting out, just knowing, the judge may feel more comfortable knowing that you got that extra layer, not only the bail bond company, but you guys report the pretrial services. So that GPS can help you get out, earlier, just knowing that there's an extra layer of security, like a team, making sure, that you're doing the right thing.
But what they need is they need the most affordable cost in town. So
Exactly. You're right. Because, getting out with the, paying the bond cost, but also having to pay the GPS monitoring cost,
correct.
Can be a hassle. So it is awesome that when you do need it, you guys are affordable, being able to work with people. What about the DUI interlock service?
So interlock services, typically it's for DUI. People have gotten DUIs for marijuana as well or other substances with blood samples, but for the most part that has to do with drinking. And so our job as the interlock company is to make sure that they're getting their license back and working toward that goal for the state, but also keeping the roads safe from the victims or people that have been victims of DUIs.
Yeah.
It is a service that it doesn't go hand in hand with the bail bonds business necessarily, because the bail bonds service itself, when someone gets a DUI, they're probably not going to need an interlock device for 6 months, maybe even a year. But obviously, if they've come to the door, or if we've been one that they've had to use because of the DUI, then they'll get the name on that. But the ignition interlocks itself, for our business and our company, we are the largest in the Midwest. That's a pretty big goal, and that's a pretty big, I'd say, credential when it comes to that. We get to service people and talk to people and do the same thing for the interlock company that we do for the bail bonds service. We offer the most affordable costs in town. We don't have to dink and dunk. We don't have to do all the unnecessary charges per se that racks a person's bill up. We're one cost per month, and that's it. That's all they're going to see. That's all they're going to have, and they can budget that. Ourselves in general, we've been able to work with the state a little bit to get it like that, and so I believe we're set apart in that sense when it comes to offering the DUI ignition interlock services.
That's awesome. So that's a whole nother business. Even though it is a service of the bail bond industry, that's a whole nother business.
Correct.
Okay. That's awesome. Are there any other services that you guys offer that I haven't mentioned? I know, like in the book, another services, payment plans, court warrant checks, just typical things other than the typical bonding people out. Are there any other services we can think of, or?
I think just through the partnerships, we partnering with companies, construction companies, stuff like that we don't necessarily own that business, but we're pretty close with those businesses to give people that opportunity to get out, get right back to work.
No, that's one thing I want to talk about too. Like I've seen you guys doing a lot of partnering with different businesses to offer those services. Like you said, you're not just coming with the bail bond business. Y'all coming with a whole different angle, and then y'all kind of changing the game with that too. Cause and I would encourage other bail bond business owners to do that. Lock in with these companies. These victim rights companies or nonprofits and stuff like that. Really get tapped into the community. That's how you're gonna be able to best serve your community. Like I said, it's not just about bonding people out. You really got to get tapped in, invested in your community, and sponsorships, collaboration with different companies is definitely the way to do it. So that's collaboration over competition in itself. Just partnering with different companies to help other people. So if you can work with other people to expound to help other people, man, y'all all kind of just in the same direction as far as just helping people. So it's good to have different businesses on the same accord, and kind of that's what collaboration over competition is about.